It's a beautiful Sunday, and I decided that I might as well record because why not? I had a choir concert last night and got me thinking about performing, and that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. A few days ago, or maybe like a week or so, I don't remember how long ago it was, I posted a picture on Instagram. And I really like bracelets, as you can tell. And the one that I actually got a lot of questions on, not like on Instagram, but like have asked me like in person over text, and they'd be like, what is that bracelet all about? And it's this one right here that has all the playbills of, not all of them, but of the first 7 shows I was in. Well, not the first 7 shows, but the first 7 musicals I was in. I have been in a total of 9 shows. Not a whole lot, and also I'm not super like in show after show after show after show. When I first decided that I wanted to be in like shows, I was actually really little. Like I was always like, oh, I'm gonna be on TV someday, I'm gonna be a movie star, I'm gonna be a famous singer, and I would be one of those people who sang the Cheetah Girls in 3rd grade all the time. Of course, when it came time for the 3rd grade talent show, I ended up playing the recorder. The recorder is great. So the first show I was ever actually in was Alice in Wonderland Junior, and I remember this being a rather pivotal moment in my performing experience, mostly because it was the first show I was ever in, but also because I felt like I got a really great role considering that it was my first show literally ever in Wonderland, except that there's a few little minor changes because it's being put on by a middle school cast. I was in 7th grade at the time. I remember I was late to auditions because I had been at dance class, and I ended up singing Think of Me for the director after everyone else left because I was too scared to do it beforehand. And yeah, I got cast as the dodo bird, and I remember I had my own little song and everything, and it was fantastic, and I loved it. Forward, backward, inward, outward, bottom to the top. Makes no difference where you are as long as you don't stop. I don't even remember if those are the right words. But anyway, it was pretty much the greatest show ever. I was really happy because I got my own song, I got my own dance. It was fantastic. The second show I was ever in was High School Musical Junior, which is kind of funny. We were in middle school once again. This was the year after. It was the school production, like the school musical, which I just started doing with like the community theater. It was like a joint production thing. And I got cast as Miss Darbus. It wasn't a singing role. No, 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 no. Stick to the stuff you know. If you wanna be cool, stick to one simple rule. Don't mess the flow, no, no. Stick to the status quo. But she did have rather hilarious dialogue. And I think I killed that role, but I was told later that I was obviously very nervous and stuttered a lot. Whatever. I enjoyed it. The next year I was in high school, and I decided that I wanted to be in that musical as well, and it was Grease, and everyone knows Grease. It's the story of changing for your man. Freddie, my love, Freddie, my love, Freddie, my love, Freddie, my love. And I was actually in the chorus for that, and I remember being so crushed. Oh my gosh, I have never been in the chorus before, but then I realized I've only been in 2 shows in my entire life. So it all made sense. My next show was my senior year, and I hadn't performed before then because I was involved in Irish dance at the time, and I really thought I could go somewhere with that. And I never did, but this is a happy video, not a sad one. Anyway, so I was in Into the Woods because I just wanted to be in a show. I was dating this guy who was in a ton of shows all the time, and well, he started in high school, I started in middle school. He was in shows, show after show after show, and I wanted to do something like that too while he was at rehearsal. So I decided to audition for Into the Woods, and I didn't get a call back. And I remember being crushed, and I cried. I actually did cry, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I could have sworn that I did so well at this audition, and I don't remember what I sang. I think it was something from Wicked. However, I remember I was sitting at the dinner table, and I got a call from this one who I knew got a call back from the show, and they're like, why are you at callbacks? I'm like, because I wasn't on the list. And then they went over and checked. They're like, oh my gosh, you weren't, but you were supposed to be here. And I'm like, okay, so I only live a mile away from the school. So I got in my car, I drove over there. And I ended up getting the role of Jack's mother. And I had my own little solo, and I remember it was really weird because that's like super high soprano land, and I am definitely an alto. Anyway, so that was all fun. That was fantastic. It was a great show to be in, but it was especially rough looking back because that boyfriend and we broke up the day before my tech week started, the day after his show closed, the day before my tech week started. I was crushed. Who out there can love you more than I? What's out there that I cannot supply? Stay with me. I was always sad all the time during tech week because, I mean, if those of you guys who have been in shows, tech week is not the week to break up with your girlfriend. Sorry. Well, with that being said, some other girls who were in the show with me, this was the high school production, and then it's in the same theater as the community theater productions. And one of the girls who was in the show with me, she was like, hey, can you just come to rehearsals for the show that my dad's directing? So I did, and I ended up being one of the Laker girls for Spamalot. Bravely bold Sir Robin rode forth from Camelot. He was not afraid to die, brave, brave Sir Robin. And that was really fun because rehearsals for that started up literally the Monday after Into the Woods Strike the Set. It was literally one show into another, and that's probably the greatest show I've ever been in. And it was the first show I'd ever done with like adults, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. And I remember thinking that show absolutely changed my life, and that I knew that once you're like in the theater, I'm sure this is how it is with sports too. I was never good at sports, so this might not be the same, but I remember thinking it doesn't matter what's going on inside of my heart from this breakup, or what's going on at school, or what's even going on at home, because there was always some sort of drama with my middle school siblings. And they basically, how do I put this? Basically, whatever was going on outside of the theater stayed outside of the theater, and I met the greatest people, and I really gained a lot of appreciation for the theater and performing arts through that show. And that's also kind of what kickstarted my next couple shows that I was in. That was my senior year of high school. So, rock on. Alright, so my senior year of high school. After that, I didn't do a show that summer, but then I was in my first play, and that was with my college's theater group, and that was called RUR, or Rosam's Universal Robots, and I got cast as a role that's traditionally cast for males, and it was as Alquist. And if you're not familiar with the show, it was written in 1929, I think, and it was about how the progression of technology leads to the demise of mankind. And it was written 100 years ago, and I think it's kind of funny how it's kind of a predictor of, what could happen. After that, I was in the musical that same college's music department put on, and once again I was chorus rolled for that, and it was Dogfight, and once again another show that you're probably not familiar with, but it's about soldiers prepare the night before a soldier is deployed to Vietnam, and basically he meets this girl named Rose, and she turns his world around. And it was a fun show. The music was jaunty. I remember not exactly enjoying the rehearsal process of it because, I don't know, I guess I just wasn't happy at the time in general, so it was kind of hard. I was around the same people literally 24/7 during the production of this show, and it was kind of hard to leave home at home when it came time to be in this show. Alright, so after that, I decided we're starting to kind of creep up onto like catching up to real life now. I was in 2 shows in one summer, and they were literally overlapping. It was Tech Week, one show, Tech Week, another show, a week off, second week of the second show. And those 2 shows were Godspell. He will not always chide, he will with patience wait. His wrath is ever slow to rise. And Shrek the Musical. Don't let me go, don't let me go, don't let me go, oh, 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 oh. You need me, you need me. Godspell is this show about, it's based off of the Gospels of Matthew, I believe. I could be wrong. And once again, chorus rolled. But it was okay because it was with a new theater that I had never worked with before, and I performed in a theater that I had never seen or worked in before. And once again, I got to meet a whole bunch of new people. There were maybe 5 or 6 college-age students, and the rest were all high schoolers. So that was an experience. But that was always really fun because it was just, rehearsals were Tuesdays and Saturdays. And then with Shrek the Musical, rehearsals were Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. Of those 2 shows, I feel like I learned, I don't know. I can't even compare them to each other. They're just 2 wildly different shows, and I just remember that made for pretty much the greatest summer of my personal life, and being wildly appreciative of these arts. I don't know. It's kind of like a tattoo. Like, you do one and you want to do more, you know? And I haven't done any shows yet this semester. I probably won't. I was gonna audition for A Streetcar Named Desire, but then I promptly got scared because it conflicted a lot with choir. I don't know what shows I'm gonna do next semester, but I know that I'm gonna do one because I don't know, I don't know where I'm gonna be. I've been doing a lot of research about the shows that I could do, and I have a list of shows that I want to do, and on that list there's shows like pretty much anything Sutton Foster has done. So Anything Goes, Thoroughly Modern Millie. I want to do Next to Normal, and I also want to be in something a bit more universally known as well, kind of like maybe Phantom of the Opera. I don't know, is it just me, or are the guy roles always written so much better than the girl roles? Those are the shows that I've been in, those are some of the shows that I want to be in, and now I'm going to sing for you. Make sure to like and comment and hit that subscribe button, and always remember, you are not alone.